Welcome to You, Me and IT, the podcast taking us behind the title of some of the leading individuals in the IT channel. I'm Karlton Gray, UK and Ireland Channel Director at Schneider Electric, and in each episode I'll be speaking to leading figures in one of the UK's most prominent industries. For this episode, I'm pleased to welcome a trailblazer within the IT press community, someone who writes about all kinds of technology from a business perspective. A bit of a role reversal for this one. Usually I'll be answering her questions, but today I'll be digging deeper into her life experience and thoughts on the channel. Christine Horton, technology journalist and editor, hello and welcome. Thank you for coming in today. It's been an arduous journey for both of us. I've came in from Norwich. You took about 12 hours to get in from I don't know where, but
Hertfordshire.
Yeah, but thanks for coming in. I know it can be a nightmare with the tubes and trains at the moment.
You're
especially
welcome.
a leaf falls on a train.
Yeah.
And then they cancel the train for whatever reason. Most of the time when we start these, I always want to know sort of the foundation, what's made you who you are, where you're from, and basically being a bit nosy.
Okay. Well, thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Where am I from? I suppose in that sense, quite a typical working class background. Irish mum, English dad.
Okay.
Local comprehensive.
Yeah.
First one in my family to actually get to university, because you could back then. It was easier for kids from a council house to do that, I think.
Yeah. It's just cost a fortune now, I think, doesn't it?
Does,
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, it was without fees because, this was 1,000 years ago. But but also my mum was a widow at that point. So back then you could go to university without paying fees if that were the case. So, yeah, I managed to get the grades, went to university, did a media studies degree, which was basically I watched films for 3 years.
This is one thing I've missed out on is university.
Yeah.
I was in the university a lot, but I never went to university because there was always
You were just hanging out at university.
Yeah, so I used to go to uni. I'm not gutted because I've done okay, but
Yeah.
it's just about so.
Yeah.
So again, from touching on sort of, you said your mum was a widow. Is that your dad or?
Yes. Yeah.
So how old was you when?
I was 14.
Okay.
Yeah.
How did you cope with that? And did that drive you, or did you just think that was part and parcel of it? Or
I think life's tough anyway when you're a teenager. God, is this what therapy is like?
No, do you know, I went to a therapy session. I was okay with that. The first time ever on about 2.5 weeks ago.
And how did you find it?
I hated it. Being everyone different tropes for different folks, and I was just like, I said to the lady, I'm not coming back.
Yeah.
But I just didn't. For me, I was just like, push it down, anything you want.
Yeah.
About, so.
But do you think that was that particular person you were talking to, or do you think it was just therapy in general?
I think therapy. I've built from a different era sometimes, and I think that runs through your blood a little bit. And I think it's very difficult, as we are humans today, is that you can change your perceptions on things, and you can understand other people's need for stuff. But if someone's been telling you something from a young age, just keep on going, stiff upper lip, you keep going. I think that becomes part and parcel of your persona. And as much as I'll say to my team, guys, you need to make sure you're living well, you're healthy, you're doing this, in the background, I'm eating the double king size Snickers and have that. Full fat Coke.
Smoking 40 a day.
Yeah, but do you know what I mean? But you tell people what you know is helpful, and I think that therapy element of it would be helpful. But for me personally, it just wasn't, and I'm like, my way of dealing with stuff, and I know this isn't IT related, we come back, but is leaving a little with a lot of people. So I'm not weighing you down. I might tell you something about my life, but I'm not telling you the whole picture. I'm telling little bits and bobs, so everyone gets a little bit of that. And if they all sat together around the table, they'd get the full background,
Yeah.
but I just don't leave that with one person.
Yeah.
So,
No, I
and
understand that.
that's what therapy I don't necessarily like about it.
Yeah.
But
We were joking earlier about being from a
yeah,
particular generation.
yeah,
Not to age ourselves, but we're quite forthright. And I feel even that was the same for me when I was younger. Sort of being, a semi-bright kid in a rough school
yeah.
wasn't the greatest. And
Where did you go to school?
Hatfield, in salubrious Hatfield in Hertfordshire.
That's where our office is, by the way. Yeah, so got to say.
I'm sure it's nice if you go in and out.
Yeah, very nice. Yeah, great. Laser tag.
And my mum's still there.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, that was just one more thing in terms of my dad. So, and I think in the context of what you just said, you learn just to push on through.
Yeah.
You just go, right, you're just going to, not necessarily dwell on it. You're just going to do what you need to do to get through. And that's what you do.
Yeah.
And I think I'm probably still a little bit like that to this day.
Really? So then, like, going back to, you said you sat and watched videos for 3 years, but what made you
Big screen.
on the big screen? But for me,
It was a degree.
but for me, I would love to do that. Next bit for 3 years is amazing. But what made you go into that sort of world? What was the?
Well, I always wanted to write, and I always wanted to be a journalist, but it seemed very much like you needed a degree
Okay.
to do so. I'd gone and worked in Ireland for a year. I'd meant to go travelling, got stuck in Ireland, was having too much of a good time.
Yeah.
And I came back and I was like, do I really need to go to university? I'd much rather be out earning money. But then my mum had said, go, and if you don't like it, you can always come back.
Yeah.
And of course, once I went, I loved it. But it was still very much at that time the sort of entry-level journalism jobs I was looking at. You needed to have a degree, unless you started working on your local paper, I guess, when you were 18. So I went and had a really good time. And when I graduated, I wanted to be editor of Smash Hits. And this was the mid-90s.
The big gold plaques. Yes, the big gold.
Smash Hits Poll Winners Party Award. Yeah.
I do remember.
So technology was the absolute furthest thing from my mind.
Yeah.
It just so happened when I graduated, it was a tech publishers that offered me my first job.
Okay.
And that was it. I was in.
It's not dissimilar. When I was your age, not now, but obviously then, Mum said to me, what do you want to do? When I'm back, I had to move back home from London, back to Norwich, or to Norwich, should I say. And I said, I want to travel as a removal porter across so basically lifting boxes and doing like furniture removals and bits and pieces. It was hard work, by the way. So anyone who's out there does that, fair play. Your back is buzzing at the end of the day. But it was basically, I had to go out and lift boxes. But the reason why I stopped, partly because it was super cold. Certain places, I don't like the cold.
Where did you go? All over Europe?
Like Baldazir, all of these ski resorts, everywhere. But you don't get to see it. Everyone think, oh, that was super cool. Like you just went, wow, did you get to go? Yeah, got to go on loads of motorways.
Is it a bit like going to a tech conference?
Even worse, imagine you've got an 80-year-old man driving the lorry and he's smoking 400 fags and you're just sat, just inhaling fags all the way there. And back then, you didn't have Netflix, you didn't have all of these different good things that you could just occupy yourself with. One of the key tasks was looking out the window, because that's all you had to do. Read a book, which I don't think many people read a book anymore. It's all with audio books. And then I remember these CD player, DVD combi players came out.
Right.
Oh, £60 well spent.
Game changer.
Game changer. I used to go up in the top while the van was moving and just sit and watch DVDs all day at the top of a moving vehicle, driving across France, Italy, wherever we was going.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a good time, but
it
took me into the IT because I was like, this is freezing cold. I need to get
need a
out
different
here.
job, man.
And the guy, I told the guy just before I started, I'm going to give you 2 weeks notice. And then he was like, "Oh, thanks very much." He cancelled all of my jobs after that was on, and didn't pay me for the 2 weeks. I was like, "Cheers, mate. Thanks." But so started Skid, but yeah, there you go. So now you're in like your second phase of what you're doing. So you've started in this IT company, not IT, sorry, a press company.
Publishers, yeah.
Were you there for a long time or?
I was there for 3 years, and it was great. It was a great first job. It was, a tech publishers that was very big in the Middle East and Africa. So, I think they're still probably the biggest publisher in that region. But I was based in the UK. I was based in Hitchin, but their main office was out in Dubai.
Bit different, yeah.
Yeah. Prefer Hitchin, to
Yeah.
be honest.
Okay.
But I was, assistant editor and then went on to be editor of, Comms MEA. So it was a telecoms magazine for the Middle East and Africa,
Okay.
which is about as far from smash hits as I think you can
Okay.
get.
Yeah.
And I'll always, to this day, I tell people I'm not a techie at all. I've been in tech all this time, but I don't know the bells and whistles. When people start going into the real, nuts and bolts of the
Yeah.
technology, it just goes straight over my head. I think what I've learned to do over the years is just be able to take that information and translate it for a business audience,
Yeah.
which is what's so great about the channel, I
Yeah.
think. You're talking as much to the business decision maker now as to the techie. So, yeah, I was there 3 years. I went on briefly to work on a mobile communications mag. Got made redundant, actually, from there. Had a little foray into food magazines.
Okay.
I edited a couple of food magazines then.
Well, just because quite difficult to ask. You only speak to someone when they're going through that redundancy part.
Yeah,
You don't really speak to them about the positives around it.
right.
When you got made redundant, did that make you more like resilient to the fact that you were going to go back out and I'm going to kill the world effectively? Or did you just go, yeah, I'm going to work in this food magazine place? Or was it like a,
No, I was devastated
okay,
because I think I was about 26.
Yeah.
And I didn't really get any confidence about me, probably till I hit my 30s.
okay,
And so it was all a bit of it was the 90s and it was quite heady. There was lots of marketing budget.
okay,
And, as journalists, we were pretty spoiled.
okay.
Amazing trips and
Well, no one's going to be mean to you, are they?
drinks and nights out and stuff like that.
Yeah,
And
they
yeah,
do what you, they're not. They're going to go, oh, we've come along, be nice to you, mate. I'm going to be nice to you.
people are still pretty nice to journalists, though.
Yeah, I think that you need to be. Imagine that. You just go around kicking journalists all day. You're going to get absolutely shot at some point. So,
But yeah, so I was pretty devastated because I wasn't really well equipped to deal with it. I went on to be made redundant again later on in my career, if you can call it such, and it was the best thing that ever happened to me. But that was a completely different experience. But at the time, it was pretty rotten.
Yeah.
And I ended up working on these 2 titles, and you're going to laugh. One was a bakery magazine, and one was called Fish and Chips and Fast Food.
okay.
Uh,
In my world, that's both great. Just to let you know.
as
It's great.
featured on Have I Got News for You?
By the way, that age group, I'm not in that sort of bracket. I'm still a little bit younger than, I know what it is, by the way. So. But anyway, the fish.
I'm just staring daggers at
I
you.
know. I know. I thought, like, Christ, I've put my foot in it here. But so you went on to those, you published those 2, which are totally outside of the norm.
Yeah,
Really.
but it was a fun couple of years.
Yeah.
And what happened was we were sharing office space with a publication called Channel Business
Yeah.
back then. And the 2 things happened at the same time. Their editor was leaving and my publications were sold to a new owner. And I was called in to the publisher's office and we had a chat. And it was quite funny because he was telling me all about the publication, etc., etc., etc. And at the end of it, he went, right, so do you want the job then? And I didn't even realise that was even on the table. I didn't realise it was an interview of sorts. And I went, yeah, okay,
Yeah.
sure. And then just one question. What's the channel? because I just didn't know I was editing this publication. And that's how green I was about the channel going into it. So I had to learn quickly. I had to learn on the job.
That's still now, by the way. Anyone that sits outside of the channel, it's not like someone says plumber or what I'm just giving like a layman's terms, a
Yeah.
lawyer, a doctor, whatever. You say I work in the IT channel, they just go like, you what computer stuff?
Yeah.
And you go, yeah, but like there's loads of different components that it is such a, unless you're in it.
No. Do your mates know what you do for a living? Because mine don't.
No, they just go, oh, you do some good stuff, don't you? Can you get me a phone? I'm like, no. Yeah, and it used to be, can you get me a TV?
My mates have got real jobs.
Yeah,
They're
yeah, yeah, yeah.
teachers and coppers, and or they work in local council, local government, and my mate says to me, "You write about mobile phones," and in the end, it's easier just to go, "Yeah."
That's literally it. And I've said it on this podcast multiple times. My family refer to me as soft hands because they all, like my granddad's a butcher, he's like my old man, my brother's a post, but we got mechanics and all that sort of stuff, and it comes to me and it's, you do keyboard stuff, don't you? And I'm like, yes, I do, but I do, and they just cut you. So then you just feel like, oh, do you know what? Leave me alone. And then,
But do you have the same thing as I do? Obviously, coming from my family, having an Irish mammy,
yeah,
they're not going to tell you they're proud of you anyway. They'll tell everyone else.
yeah.
They'll tell, all their mates, but they're not going to.
I wrote about it. I've recently moved roles within Schneider, but I used to look, when I first got that channel director as well, it wasn't necessarily, I didn't actually, the goal was getting there just to be like, look at me. I can't explain it, but it wasn't, I didn't really, it's something where I wanted to get to. But when I actually got there, it was almost going outside and wanting people to see. Like when you buy a new car, you could quite happily drive that old banger that you had, but it's almost the adoration sometimes that you get from other people that motivate you to wear nice clothes or have nice things. And the title sometimes means more than the actual,
Right.
so for me, it's, yeah, there's a slight change in my perception now, but
Is it because is it important to you in terms of like what other people, how they regard you?
I think it's important to everyone how people regard you. I don't think it's as important anymore because if the people that matter to me, I'm how I regarded to them. So my mum, my kids, my wife, those sort of people, it mattered to them that how I'm regarded as a good dad, a good husband, a good son. But to the Joe public on the street, as long as I'm not being horrible to you, I'm not being malicious or anything bad, I don't really care. I really don't care anymore. So
No, no. And in fact, I spoke about not really having much confidence when I was younger. And when I was in my 40s, I heard this piece of advice that has been an absolute game changer for me. What people think about you is none of your business.
yeah,
And I love that because I feel that's so empowering
really,
to me
yeah,
because it's not. I mean, why would I care?
yeah.
It's not what you think about me has nothing to do with me.
But now you have people that feel like it's acceptable to say what they think about you online or through media or whatever it may be. But you're right. As long as you know that your heart's in the right place and you're a good person, I know it sounds really basic, and we'll talk about my team. One of our values is being kind.
Yeah.
As long as you're that, I really don't care. And maybe I have a different life perspective because I have been fortunate, a lot of luck, but they say you make your own luck sometimes. And if you work hard enough, you make more luck. So I think there's definitely a balance, but yeah, I love that saying. I'm going to make sure I write that down and and take it, and then you'll see, especially Carl thinks that rah rah rah. You're like, that's what that's yeah.
That's what
I said. That's what I said. Yeah. So
just passing it along. It's been useful for me.
no, it's good. So obviously we spoke around the redundancy piece, and I'm learning along the way. So again, for I've met you 3 times, maybe.
Yeah.
So it's not been. It's not like day to day
I don't think we've
interaction.
been
So
sober either any of
no,
those
not
times.
we've been had a couple of beers. You've had obviously a lot more than I have, but it's a, but by the way, that's a lie. But we're still getting around the middle of your journey, I suppose, through the IT channel. And like I said, for me, by the way, making people proud, it's inherently within me that if my mum, I have a hard mum, but when my mum goes, oh, she calls me Carly. She said, like, Carly, like really, like whatever that may be, I melt like inside, and then I'm an emotional guy anyway. So I go,
Oh,
okay, mum. Oh, thanks, mum. Look, do you know what I mean? So
yeah.
it's very much my granddad and my mum are my people that I look up to, outside of friends and stuff like that. But from a family, maybe my older brother.
Oh, same.
So going back to you, because we're going back to me, it's like the interview is trying to flip it back, so I'm flipping it back to you.
I can't help myself.
So what was next in your sort of career progression? Because you started, you've done press in all different avenues, so you're still in that press. What was the leap of faith for you?
Well, I was editing Channel Business, um, and I was there maybe a couple of years. And again, I mean, such is the nature of publishing. That title was getting wound up, or sold. That was the sister publication to IT Europa, if you know
Yeah.
IT Europa. And at that point, Dennis Publishing, as was, approached me and said, we want to launch a new channel publication. It's going to be a sister publication to IT Pro called Channel Pro. Would you come on board and launch it and be the editor? So yeah, that was great. I really never had that much budget for freelance.
Yeah.
It was pretty much a one-man show.
Yeah.
But it was great. It was wonderful. And I worked with a really lovely team of great friends to this day on IT Pro, Cloud Pro. Again, it was a time of real change, I suppose, in the channel, in terms of the way that things had shifted. Things weren't as easy to explain anymore. Like when I first said, right, what's the channel? They went, it's like vendors, distributors, resellers. There you go.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden we were talking about SaaS and cloud and then ecosystems and different business models. And I was like, right. So it was a really exciting time. And I think that was at that point, I was like, oh, I'm really into this. I really like the channel. I really like the people. It suited me.
Yeah.
I met some great friends in the channel. I met, I had some amazing experiences. So that was what really solidified that for me. And so I did that for 7 years. And then I was made redundant again.
Okay. Wow.
And to be, in all honesty, I think maybe a year prior to that, I was kind of thinking, I can do this. This is pretty easy to me now.
Yeah.
I can kind of do this job in my sleep. I really should be thinking about what else I can do moving on. And actually being made redundant was the kick up the arse that I needed.
Yeah.
That can often be the way for people. It really spurs you into action. So when I was made redundant, I thought, right, I'm going to give freelancing a go. At least let's see if I can make the same money as I did as a full-time journalist. And things just really took off. That was in 2016. And it's been absolutely fantastic. I absolutely love working for myself. It's been brilliant. I work with different clients, not just in channel. I do a mix of editorial and private copywriting. It's really, really a bit worried I'm unemployable. But it's been great.
I think sometimes me and my friends talk and go, "Oh, we did something together," or "We wish we were doing we were a reseller back in the day when it was new," and not new, but it was. I remember before, like I was at the time when you had an intranet, you didn't have an internet, so it was almost like I was at that part of in that journey, if you'd have set up then, and I know there's
You've
10
probably
people.
always had email, haven't you?
No.
All right, because I'm trying to gauge how much younger than me you
Yeah,
are.
I am. How old do you think I am? Just
Oh, don't do that.
yeah, come on, go on, let's throw it out there.
Well, mid-40s?
No. See, I've done myself there. Can we edit that out, please? So, can we just cut that out? I'm 40, just turned 41, like a week ago.
Oh,
Yeah,
well,
so-
can I dig myself out of that one? Happy
No,
birthday.
no, fine. No, I've got a bald head and looked at it and went, bald head and a big belly. So yeah, great stuff. I suppose it's I would have loved to do what you do. I think I'm at that age now where it's very different. We talk around like, wouldn't it be nice? Wouldn't it be nice? But actually, to take that leap of faith when I've got my children, dependents, and stuff like
Yeah.
that, for me, it's almost like I should have done it a long time ago. But now I'm happy, and I am happy in my job, and it's quite nice because you hear people saying, "Oh, I hate this, I hate that," and you're never going to have 100%. I love everything, but you weigh it up, and it's at least in that 70-30 split, 80-20. I'm good for that, and
Yeah.
I walk along
It's
with it.
incredible.
Yeah,
That's more than actually a lot of people can say.
exactly. That's why I got my teeth done, so I've got a big smile now, and I can go, yes, working well. It's I heard the other day as well is that sometimes, like they say, working, and I always try to manipulate songs around what I do because I'm such a music fan of just all different genres. But the guy says, the bigger the shadow, the brighter. So what he was basically saying, effectively, if you have real bad times, you're going to see the best in the good times. So
Yeah.
if there was no bad, there'll be no good. And the worse it gets, when you have the good times, they're great times, if that makes sense. So you've got a forever ending back and forth. But as long as you're in that, you're feeling the brightness more than the shadow all the time. It's just yeah. But
I think I'm coming round to, I mean, I am. So the last 18 months have been a little bit difficult in terms of I've had 3 people I care about die.
yeah,
3 good friends. One of them actually, I don't know if you ever knew Adrian Foxall. He was at Computer Centre back in the day. He was a good mate of mine. He died last year. Another person was one of my work dads, Martin Banks. He died suddenly in January. And people kept saying towards the end of last year, oh, let's hope 2025 is a better one. And initially I was kind of going, yeah, well, let's hope so. But then it sort of occurred to me, well, it's probably not going to be, because as we grow older, this is our life now. What we need to really try and do is embrace the good bits while they happen.
Yeah.
Really make the most of it, because the bad stuff's gonna come. But let's hang on to the good stuff while it happens.
I phrase this as well because I do actually love the term. I wish I knew I was in the good old days when I was in the good old days.
Yeah.
And I think that's such an important term because, like I said, you don't know what's around the corner. You don't know, so you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. So live your best life while you can. And sometimes you just have to live because you've only got one life. And when I had my illness and bits and pieces around that, I was mortified. But actually, when I step back and look at it, am I a better person for it? I think I am now.
Yeah.
And I personally believe that everything happens for a reason. And sometimes it's not fair. Like, I know it's not. But actually, it is what it is. And, I said about the counselor and stuff like that. But it is what it is for me. And that's my view on it.
Yeah.
And for others, they go, oh, my God.
You're using your own tools within you to
manage.
To manage it.
Yeah.
And it's different for everyone.
Yeah. So, I think that, you are right. There will be, before this year, there were people that, and I'm not being morbid, well, I am, but I don't want to be, but there's people that in the IT channel, like, Norman Case, I'm not sure if you know, great role model for a lot of people,
Mm.
passed away, and you're like, wow, Norm's gone. Like, and I don't think people expected that to happen. And then, like, he's forgotten. He's not, for me, he's not forgotten. That's
No.
why I said his name, and people wouldn't go, Christ, Cole, you knew him and you talked. And I'm like, yeah, because he had an impact on me. So that's why I looking at the older generation for me, to me, like, I used to look up and go, I want to be more like him, or I want to be more like him. I want to take a piece of him, take a piece of that person. And that's how I built almost my persona, because growing up in that period with not having a father as well, I had a dad, but I draw a line under that, but wasn't as present as
Right.
I wanted. So it's a very good tool. What you're saying is that you've got to live in the moment, and I echo that outwardly, and I want people to actually see that. So
Yeah, absolutely.
you basically feet up now, do what you want. From no, I know you're everywhere and anywhere, but
I just bought my first house. Well, I bought my flat for the first time. I've got a mortgage for the first time.
Okay, well, not great rates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, Liz Truss.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've always been a little bit, yeah, I embrace the European
Yeah.
sense of travel. Just
Yeah.
travel, I rent, etc. But yeah, I lived in my flat. I've got a ground floor flat, me and the cats, and it's absolutely perfect
Yep.
for us. Great neighbours, great spot. And I was renting it for a really long time, and then the landlord said, "We're going to sell." And I said, "Oh, will you give me the opportunity to buy it if I can, get the
Yeah.
deposit together?" And so now I've bought it. Now I have a mortgage. Now I'm poor.
Yeah.
No, but it's just
Yeah.
that's the thing when you're working for yourself, though. You've just got to keep hustling all the time.
Some of the
Like even if you've got retainers, regular clients, you're always putting yourself out there.
you continue, I would say from me to you, is that continue to put yourself out there, because the true version of you, and I was saying it before before the cameras on, is I've never heard a bad word against you. Never. I think,
Wow.
but the way that you make people feel comfortable, it is a quality in itself. So I think some people, you walked in and you said that, oh, I feel like,
I was feeling a bit anxious with
yeah,
the shoe
but
being on the other foot today.
yeah, you're super. But
Yeah.
I don't, maybe I have to paraphrase this, but I don't want people that are horrible on on here, because that's not what it's for.
Yeah.
It's to understand where people that had it hard and have grown through the channel, and this is totally different to where we're not exposing the different sort of people that sit within the channel.
Mm.
It's almost like, look, there are salespeople, there are operations people, there's actually press that enable people like myself, like, to win more.
Mm.
And I don't mean by winning financially, but winning because without the likes of you and others, by the way, I'm not just saying you, but as much as you tried to claim all the credit, but I'm joking. But
It's all me, right? Yeah.
what I mean is there's so many people out there that without them, then provide a huge impact to the other people that are within the IT.
100%, 100%. And the thing is, it's the channel. It's
weird though,
we
isn't
all
it?
know each other. There's 6 degrees of separation between everyone. And even in channel press, we're all mates.
Yeah.
All the different editors, we're all mates. There's something weird, by the way, as a little aside. Channel journalists, we never leave. We just stick around forever.
This old lady comes in, hello, I remember when I was like, but I
Yeah,
suppose.
we're all mates. We all help each other out. Have you got a number? Do you know this person? Or can I introduce you to somebody? Because it's going to get paid back at some point as well. But you're not doing it because of that. But we all just want to see each other succeed.
Yeah, I want to see people around you win. And I think especially as you get older, I was talking around this yesterday. When you're younger, you want the latest and greatest, I think. Maybe when you're a little bit older, you still want the latest and greatest. But for me, I really see the value in my role, and is when watching other people succeed. and I'm not saying I don't want to succeed. That's a load of rubbish. But I want others to around me, especially my circle. I want them to all live their best life. And I know it's not always
Yeah.
achievable, but yeah. And I suppose that's all part of it. But I'm suppose I'm waffling now, and apologies for people that are listening potentially. But
I've met you.
yeah, very true. Yeah, thanks. Cheers for that. All right, moving on. But
I'm
yeah,
sorry.
but no, what I'm getting at is, so gone through where you've come from, how you've got to where you've got, like, so I suppose what's next?
Well, that's the timing of that question's really interesting at the moment. It's very much a case of watch this space.
Okay.
Um, Channel Futures, my main channel gig,
Yeah.
is coming to an end. They are folding that publication.
Okay.
So there are other things on the horizon,
Okay.
but I can't really sort of give you much more detail on that at the moment.
Okay.
It's just in that if this was in a few weeks, I probably could, but
Okay. No, fair play, Casey. Just cut it out. Don't worry. But I suppose then, what do you think people would say about you? Actually, what would you say about yourself if you had 3 words to?
what 3 words? What would I say about short, argumentative,
Yeah.
and feeder.
Okay. Get some in. I mean, you just explained me.
Yeah.
And what would you say what are your sort of core values?
Oh God. Kindness, I think, is the thing that I value most.
Yeah.
And I don't really care if someone's intelligent or not in terms of, no, you can still be an arse if you're intelligent, but just kindness above all else, I think.
Yeah.
I really value that. Authenticity. Um, generosity of spirit
Yeah.
as well. Those are the sorts of people you want to surround yourself with.
Make you happy, don't they?
Yeah.
I love laughing.
Oh God, funny. Funny is good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Being around people that can make you smile
Yeah.
makes your day better.
Yeah,
all
absolutely.
the while.
Who can share your sense of humor, which might be a little bit
But I
warped.
get told off a lot about my humor. Like, there is a potential person, and if she listens to this, she will know who it is, that always says, "You're going to get yourself in real big trouble." I'm like, "I don't mean it." She's like, "I know you don't mean it, but that curtain isn't soundproof." I'm like, okay. So, and then she'll definitely know when I've said that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I suppose part of this, obviously, parts of this was brought on because we were talking about legacies, and just to sort of switch back and forward on this, I think you should 100%, you want to leave a good legacy, because you said about kind and stuff. But in the same vein, I think you've got to live in the moment as well. It's not just about what you want people to think when you're not here. It's about what you are doing for yourself when you are here. So, but what would you like people to say when they
Yeah.
talking about
Well,
you?
I know you always ask this question, and I've sort of been struggling a little bit with the idea of this question in the run up to this, because I don't know. I think there's two different things in terms of, what would you like your legacy to be? That's something that has never crossed my mind once. It's just I can't come out and say, yeah, I'd love my legacy to be this or that. I think, there are ways that I'd like to be remembered. A great mate.
Yeah.
A good daughter, sister, partner, excellent cat mom. But yeah, just but those are the things that this may be off topic, but I recently did my will, and I was talking to a lady on the phone. She was like, "What about this?" And I'm like, "I'm dead. I don't care. I really don't care. What does it matter to me?"
Your cat's like, "Come on, please."
No, the
Just
cat. Look, the cats were sorted.
Yeah, the cats are all locked
But
up.
in terms of my possessions, I'm like, nah, whatever, doesn't matter.
It's not dissimilar, yeah.
So yeah, I just want to be, I think, thought of by anyone still left as I don't know, just a kind person, a good laugh,
Yeah. So
you know, yeah, someone who is, generous, not just, financially, but just generous, with their time.
someone who listens.
Yeah,
By the way, you said leaving stuff behind.
yeah.
When and by the way, my memory is terrible. So for new people, if they've listened or not, I was always going to get a Rolex watch by the time I was 40.
Mm,
That's what I always wanted. It's just the perception for me was looking around, and my uncle
yeah.
did well. And I looked at him. I thought, oh, one day I'm going to have a Rolex watch. And I was in a position when I was 40 to buy a Rolex watch. I'd ordered it,
Mm.
done everything with it, and then my wife said to me, "Do you reckon we should get the front done?" She said, "What's more important, the shiny thing in your wrist or watching your kids play in the garden?" I was like, cancel the watch, cancel the watch. But when I look back now, and I did actually say, look, I don't want to leave anything behind that when you talk about you don't care what, I don't want to leave any possessions behind that I am remembered by a possession.
Yeah.
And what that means is I don't want my son or daughter to have that watch, and if they go out and have a few beers and they lose it, they feel like, oh my God, that was my dad's X, Y, and Z. That was my dad's watch or something. And I'm like, I don't care, because the stuff that you do around people, that kindness, that you being who you are and impacting on someone, not from a monetary perspective or gifting. And I do give money and I do gift because I like to share. Like, I like to give presents, I really
Yeah.
do. But
Oh, giving presents is the best.
yeah, because it gives me a sense of thing. But when I'm gone, I don't want my son to go, "Oh, I'm going to treasure this wedding ring. I'm going to treasure this." I'm like, take it to the pawn shop, son. Get it done, get it
Yeah.
gone, get some money off it, and go out and have some fun with it. I don't want that whole. Do you know what I mean? And I think that's really
That's not the legacy that you're looking for.
no. But I don't believe. I was saying it before, is that my legacy really, unless I do something amazing in my life, it will end at my potential grandchildren.
Mm,
But after that, it's not really going to go any
yeah.
further than that. So why not live in the moment, support the people around you that you can support, be kind, caring, considerate, not all the time, but as
Yeah.
much as possible,
Yeah.
and have fun.
Yeah.
Be kind and have fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I mean, I don't have kids, so I mean, I love my family, but my mates are like family
Yeah,
to me
yeah.
as well.
I've got mates.
Mates from school.
I've got mates that not from school that I treasure more than some of my family, and that's what I mean. So, like, live in that moment, be kind.
I mean, there was a little perverse part of me then when I was making that will that wanted to leave each of them something really terrible,
Ah,
something that they'd hate. Like some music that they can't hate, and just go, right, here's my CD collection
uh,
that I somehow still haven't thrown away.
yeah, that was
You've got to keep
it.
it.
Uh, I thought it was a bit sick, where I was like, one of my friends, a guy called Calv, and I've got another friend called Greg, but one's about 5'2" and one's 6'4". I thought, how can I put it in my will that I can make one of them carry my coffin and move it to the side? Because I just thought, for the people when they're walking in, they'll be like, "Oh my God, have you seen that over there?" But they'll be like, "Come on,
That would be brilliant.
they told me to. They told me to." But in my world, it'd be like, I've just done you there. My last drop is
That
to
would
win.
I mean, don't get me wrong, not that would have been brilliant,
Yeah.
but oh my
But for
god.
me, winning at
Yeah.
the end of everything is a lot for me. Yeah, be kind, be nice,
Be kind.
and don't leave too much behind. Make sure the people around you, if you need to, and if you've got the means to do it, make sure that they have the money to move forward, or property, whatever that you're doing to leave. But actually, emotional gifts, like, and it's different for everyone. For me, but like wedding rings, I don't want my wife to hold on to my ring forever, or my bracelet from when I was 21.
Mm.
Melt it down, take it to a pawn shop, get rid of it,
Mm.
because I'm not. That's not me. I'm
Yeah.
here now.
Yeah.
Hopefully, you love the person I am now, not the jumper I'm wearing or the watch I'm wearing. So, are there any obstacles that you've actually had to overcome, other than the redundancy bits and pieces? Is there anything that you say that you really feel it's come at you fast, but you've actually negotiated it and moved it?
In terms of obstacles, I would say something that I and other people continue to navigate, not overcoming it at all really, because it's a constant work in progress, but it's being a woman
Yeah.
in often a male-dominated space, and I'm sure I'm not the first person to say that to you. And it's the sort of thing where, we were talking about this 10, 15 years ago, but yeah, I'm still seeing poor behavior
Yeah.
in the channel. I've been subject myself, even at this old age, this big age, of poor behavior. I can guarantee you that pretty much every woman in the channel has also got their own stories. I certainly know other female journalists in the channel have their stories too. So that's an ongoing thing.
Yeah.
How we address that going forward. I think it's not quite so obvious in terms of back in the day, the boys' club
Yeah.
kind of vibe, where it was all sort of golf days and doing deals around in the bar, but it's still enough. It's still enough to, and we were chatting before, and that I'm not the most, sensitive person to whatever, but I can certainly pull out bad behavior when I see it.
Yeah.
So I think that's an ongoing thing. I still think there's work to do there.
I think, by the way, I think there's work to do in all, by the way. Not just that. I think, and I've said it before, equality is not just diversity, and maybe I'll get in trouble sometimes around it, but I'm like,
and equity.
Yeah, but for me, it's just like giving people the opportunity to grow regardless, and you treat people with respect. I'm like, treat people, I'm super basic, treat people like your mum. Would you do stuff or say stuff in front of your parent? Maybe you do, or you think that's acceptable.
No, my mum's got really hard slaps.
Yeah, exactly. My mum's got a hard mouth, mate. She'll tell you about yourself. Trust me. But what I mean is, you learn from experiences, and hopefully, I think the world is changing. Something not great, but I think there is a change in the channel. Is it going quick enough? I don't know. I think sometimes when you push something too quickly, you could create a problem because there's a gap behind it. Whereas I think that journey is a journey, and I think it is moving a lot.
Yeah, no, I agree with you in terms of giving people grace.
Yeah.
I think in general, if people are trying, that's the most important thing.
Do you know what? By the way, I'm going to copy that because I've had it before with family member. I know there's no malicious in it. You've got them, like you said, give them grace of, but it's just from their generation, and it's is it acceptable now? No.
You've got to look at intent.
Yeah, exactly that. Exactly that. I know you're going to struggle with this. What is your definition of success? When you hang up the boots when you're 80, what's your definition of success?
I want a utility room.
Okay, low benchmark, but everyone has a benchmark, and I like that because you know that you're only going to fly above it. So
did I've already mentioned my marked lack of ambition.
Yes. So you want to have a utility room?
Go on, it's just a little thing. Maybe
No, end game. But
no, but I mean, it's not like I can say I want to be known as this person, the channel journalist, of my era. Because let's be honest, we're channel journalists. It's we love our job, but how much impact are we making in the world? I would argue. I wouldn't say success comes with any kind of accolades or recognition or even notoriety. Are you happy? Are you satisfied on the whole with what you've done?
Yeah.
Can you put your head on the pillow at night and feel happy? In terms of, yes, a utility room would be lovely.
Okay. I'll take that all day long.
Can I have a pantry as well?
If that's what is the golden egg, you can go utility room and
if there's some way that I start making more money, and that would be it.
I really appreciate you taking the time to come down. I know it's tricky travel, like we said in the first part, but
That's all right. Thank you for having me.
we've flown through when you thought, oh my God, this is going to be a nightmare. But it's
No, it's just, this is this could be me and you down the pub, couldn't it?
yeah, and that's what we want it to
Yeah.
be. Well, yeah, we again, it sounds bad.
You
This
could
is,
go on tour with this.
I don't think we could. I think we'd struggle. There'll be about 3 people sitting there going, oh my God, this is a nightmare. But I think learning about someone's persona, learning about someone's character, and the content of their character as well, like who you are, something, and then you're not just this black and white version that's in your picture is, by the way.
Oh
But yeah,
God.
outside of that, but you know what I mean? You're a nice person, you're kind, all the things that you want to be perceived as, you are. So I think for
Thank
you,
you.
thank you for coming.
Oh, thank you for having me.